Good morning, my friends. It is Kevin at 7, special edition Monday morning. Today I'm going to talk about the number one key that will determine your success or failure in this market or in any market. And especially with all the stuff we have going on in our economy. And there is a lot of stuff going on in our world. Some people are going to succeed. Some people are going to fail. Some people are going to win. Some people are going to lose. How do you determine your outcome? How do you determine what you're going to do? So I'm going to talk about the number one key to success. And I'm going to talk about 4 ways to increase, to feed, to grow that indicator of success. How do you empower that? How do you empower yourself to succeed in this market? So we're going to dive right into it on this Monday morning. We have got some very exciting news and very exciting announcement because today we are opening registration for Agent Mastery Live, our first ever 3-day virtual event. It is coming up September 8th, 9th, and 10th. So be watching for that. It's going to be announcements going to be coming out today. If you want to know exactly what to do to crush it in this market and with what's happening right now and what's coming, then those 3 days will be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars to you if you're committed to your success. So thank you guys. Thank you, JC. Welcome everybody. As you come on, post where you're from in the world. If you'll just put it in the comments where you are from. And I'm warming up here, so I'm gonna take my jacket off. I injured myself over the weekend, which is very interesting. Surfing. I took up surfing, love surfing. So I hope you had a great weekend. All right, so hey, Steve from Atlanta, good to see you. Good morning, Deidre. I'm not sure how you say your name, from Philly. Gina from Raleigh, good to see you. JC from OC, Maryland from Puerto Rico, awesome. Carmen from Chile. Dexter, hey Dexter. All right, so here is the key. The number one indicator of whether or not somebody is gonna succeed. Good morning, Cindy from Texas. The number one indicator of whether somebody is gonna succeed or failure is this, is what you believe about yourself. That's the number one indicator. What do you believe about yourself? It is not intelligence. If intelligence was the number one indicator of success, then the smartest people would be the most successful people. And that does not turn out to be the case. Okay? It is not your upbringing. It is not how much money your family had. It is not your race. It is what you believe about yourself. And if you believe that you cannot succeed for whatever reason, then your failure is pretty much a foregone conclusion. If you believe you are going to succeed, no matter what, your belief is the single most important determining factor in whether or not you're going to succeed or fail. Now, here's the problem for most of us. Like me, hey, Sasha from Kansas, good to see you. And I missed several of you. Hello, Aminata. Sorry. Catherine from Texas, good to see you. Aminata from Minnesota, nice. So I grew up believing that I was shy, that I was not worth fighting for, that I was not worth standing up for, and there were things that went into causing that belief. But the bottom line was I grew up with a very, very low self-image. What I believed about myself was not good. And so I just believed that I believed I was good, but I never believed I was great. And I never expected greatness because that was never taught. It was never expected of me. And because of that, I would always get defeated. I would let myself get defeated. I would do well, and then something would happen. There would be adversity, and things would fall apart. What your self-image is the number one indicator of whether you're going to succeed or not. People that have a great self-image are the ones that show up more powerfully, work better, have more confidence, and they just win. Now, it's not the only thing that matters, but it's the number one indicator. So the question is, how do you increase your belief? How do you change what you believe about yourself? How do you raise your self-image? And books have been written out there by the thousands of this, but I'm going to share with you what I call the 4 transformers. The 4 things that will transform your self-belief, your self-image, that can transform it like nothing else on the planet. Number one is your declarations. What do you declare about yourself? What do you say about yourself? Now, you may have heard these called affirmations. I call them declarations because a declaration is something you speak with belief, with power. And I think the greatest example the most iconic example of the power of a declaration was Muhammad Ali. I am the greatest. I am the greatest. And he would just chant that one declaration over and over. I am the greatest. And he said later, I would say that I am the greatest even before I knew that I was. But his declaration, he was speaking into existence what he wanted. And he followed that belief. Power of declarations. Number 2 is the power of visualization, what Napoleon Hill in his book Think and Grow Rich called the power of autosuggestion. This is not anything new. This is not new science. It has been a philosophy of achievement for millennia, actually. The power of visualization. However, now they have discovered in the last 20 years, and scientifically, that when you visualize, vividly imagine something happening to you, that your subconscious mind literally cannot tell the difference between a vividly imagined event and the real thing. So you can literally create a fear out of nothing, but you can also create a belief out of nothing. You can create an experience out of nothing. That's crazy, right? So number 2 is your visualization. What do you visualize? And if you visualize stuff going wrong, guess what? Your subconscious mind thinks it's going to go wrong. But if you constantly visualize yourself doing things right, you could visualize yourself winning, visualize success, then your subconscious mind will also work to make that happen. All right, so number 1 is declaration. Number 2 is visualization. Number 3 is association. It's the people you hang out with. You look at your friends, the people you hang out with, the 5 people that you spend most of your time with, and you are looking at your future. It's just the way it goes. When you hang out with high achievers, it pushes you, it forces you to raise your game, right? When you hang out with people that are boozing and not making anything in their life, guess what? You're going to become just like them, right? So your association is extremely powerful in determining what you believe about yourself. What they say about you, what they believe about you is going to affect your belief. Okay, number 1, that's right, Sasha, thank you. Number 1, declaration. Number 2, visualization. Number 3, association. And number 4 is action. Actually taking action. You want to change what you believe about yourself. You actually do something you're uncomfortable with enough until you become comfortable doing it. You do something you're scared about. If you're scared of heights, if you spend enough time climbing on top of houses, you're going to get to where you're not scared of heights. Just the way it goes. If you're scared of dogs, scared of animals, scared of whatever, you do it. You're scared of sales calls. Just do it enough of it, and you're not going to be scared of it anymore. Action conquers fear. Action changes your belief because your fears, your beliefs are based on either an experience or an expectation of a certain outcome. Well, when you change the experience, when you add more action to it, then you change the experience, and experience overrides the expectation. Because now you have a new foundation or a new basis for a new belief. So when you actually take the action, you can overcome it. First time you go snow skiing, I was terrified going. This was long time ago, but I can remember that how I got good snow skiing was just my high school friends took me up to the top of the hill and said, "Point your skis downhill and let gravity do the work." And it was, and because of my association, peer pressure, I was determined to keep up with them. But I just did it over and over again and took action for 5 days of snow skiing. And by the time we're done, I know I'm not afraid of the mountain anymore. I'm not afraid of the black diamond slopes. I'm not afraid of falling. I knew how to fall. Because I took action on it and I was around people that did it. And that changed everything. The fastest way to change your belief is action. It's the fastest way. The fastest way is just take action, okay? All the other 3 support that. Declarations, visualization, what you imagine, what you vividly imagining happening, your association, the people you're hanging out with and listening to, and number 4 is your action. Take massive action. It's how you change your belief faster than anything else, okay? This all comes back to mindset. Really, it's what you believe. It's what your mindset is. It is what I call one of the 5 core elements of success is having a success mindset. And if you don't have a success mindset, you're beat because you go in with a lack of belief. And when you go in with a lack of belief, your emotion, the energy of your emotions is not behind you. Is this making sense to you guys? Can I see some thumbs up if this is making sense? Any questions you guys have about that? So we have a massively, thank you, Catherine Vu, appreciate that. We have a massive changes happening in our world right now. The economy is in a tailspin, even though there's still a lot of people out there that are not catching on to that because of what you're hearing and what the federal government is doing. All the stimulus and all that kind of stuff keeps pumping. When your people that don't have work are making, some of them, more money per month unemployed than they were making employed, they're spending money, everything feels okay. But when that runs out, things are going to get ugly. And there's going to be more stimulus coming and all of that kind of stuff. But when you have an economy that's shut down, and we're going through a lot of shutdowns in a lot of states across the country, when you have all these shutdowns happening and people aren't making money, 70% of the GDP of our economy is driven by consumer spending. Now, as long as the government's sending everybody checks, people are going to keep spending a little bit, but people are going to spend less. They've opened up the restaurants, people went back eating out, and then the restaurants have now, the businesses have dropped. And you've got nearly 10% of all Americans with mortgages are in forbearance right now. You've got over 30% of all renters in America are not making their rent payments. And that means that the landlords, the owners of those properties, are not making their mortgage payments in a lot of cases. So you got a lot of bad things happening. Unemployment is at Depression era levels. If you count, now today they're saying unemployment is, whatever their percentage is. But if they counted unemployment today the same way they counted it in 1929 and 1930 and during the Great Depression, our unemployment today is higher than it was during the Great Depression. In other words, we have the highest unemployment right now in the history of America. I know that that's not what you're hearing, but that's because the government, in its infinite wisdom, does not count unemployment today the way they counted unemployment back in the Great Depression. So when they talk about 25% unemployment back in the 1930s, it is worse than that today when you count it the same way. And when they say that, there's so many unemployed, and yet the number of unemployment claims, the money they're paying out, the $600 a week that they had been paying, that all that kind of stuff, going out to unemployment is dramatically higher than the number of they claim unemployed. How is that possible? How would they be sending out more unemployment benefits than there are people that are unemployed? That doesn't make any sense. So things are not good. You got to be ready for this, my friends. You have to be ready because things are changing. And so we are, today, we are opening registration for Agent Mastery Live 2020. It is a virtual event, 3 days, September 8th, 9th, and 10th. And it is going to be specifically what to do today for the rest of 2020 and what to do in 2021 and the things that are coming. Where's the business? Where's the opportunity? How do you succeed? And you're going to get the systems, the strategies, the skills. You're going to get everything in those 3 days of how to put together a business and how to execute on that business in a way that you'll know exactly what to do to be able to make more money than you ever dreamed possible. Because when the economy goes bad, it does not mean people aren't going to be buying and selling houses. There's going to be a lot more buying and selling houses coming in the future than there has been. Okay, not by choice, but because people are going to be losing their houses. And when they start losing their houses, can't make the payments and forbearance runs out. Now, the government may extend forbearance more, but the first 6 months of forbearance is coming up. And then people can extend for another 6 months. Well, that ends in April of 2021. Will they extend more? We don't know. When are they going to lift the moratorium on foreclosures? When that happens, a lot of stuff's going to be happening, my friends. So you have to be ready. So go to Agent, I don't even know the website. So be watching today. That's crazy. It's Monday morning. I haven't talked to my team yet. I don't remember the website that you go to. But it will be, a registration will open today. And so be watching for that. We'll be giving you links and all of that throughout the day. Have a great week, everybody. Play to win and always expect yes. Thanks, everybody.